Hey guys, I'm going to show you how you can take these 5 simple ingredients and turn them into some date and banana flapjacks, which are just seasoned with some cinnamon. Super simple, super straightforward. All you needed is a blender and then your oven, and you're good to go. So first of all, you're just going to dump your dates into the bottom of your blender. Make sure your blade is already in. It makes it much easier if your blade isn't in. All of a sudden, it becomes a bit of an issue when you come to put blade in. So I put enough dates in so that I cover the bottom of my blender. And just going to shake it down a little bit. All I'm going to do is I'm going to add some boiling water over the top, just enough to cover those dates so they go a little bit soft. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid back on my blender now. I'm just going to leave these now to sit and soak for about 5 to 10 minutes. If you can, just push them all down so that all of them are covered. So now that I've left the dates to sit and soak in the boiling water, all I've done is added the banana in and added some of the coconut oil. I'm just going to throw in the cinnamon powder now. Depending on obviously how much like cinnamon is going to depend on how much you're going to add in. So you just add in the cinnamon powder, and all we're going to do is we're going to stick our top on the blender. And watch her go. So you want to blend things up until you've got something that looks something like this. It should just look like a like a liquid sludge. This is essentially the base that we're going to now just mix our porridge oats into. You're just going to throw the porridge oats in on top and then just mix them in. So when you're doing this, I tend to eyeball everything. I don't tend to measure anything. So when you're doing it, what you basically want to make sure is that your mixture still looks wet when you put it in the cake tin. So what I'm going to do is I'm personally, just to save washing up, because I've made these so many times, all I do is I just make them all into one blender, blend them all up, and then throw the porridge oats in, stir it, and then put it straight into the cake tin and put it in the oven. So this is what we should have once we've mixed in our porridge oats. It should basically hold up most of the moisture, but like I say, you want to make sure it still looks a little bit moist. If you can see too much oat, you've probably put in too many oats. You kind of want it to still be a little bit liquidy, otherwise when they're cooked, they'll go really dry. So all we've done now is just taken our oats mix and put it into a cake tin. I use a silicone tin. The silicone basically means it very rarely gets stuck to the tin. To be honest, my experience with these is they don't stick that bad because of the coconut oil that's already in the mixture. But if you want to make sure they don't stick, you can just line it with a little bit of coconut oil, or you can just put some baking paper in there as well. So this is now going to go into the oven. It's going to go in the oven for, I find, depending on how well my oven is working for the day, it will take anywhere between 25 minutes and 40 minutes. So I've cooked these in so many different ovens now that actually I've found that there's quite a big discrepancy with how long they've taken depending on how good your oven is. So here we have the finished product. You just chop these up to whatever size that you want them to actually be. I have made these a couple of different ways. Sometimes I've added raisins or sultanas into it. I have actually also done this with grated apple as well, so it makes it taste like almost like an apple strudel. And equally, I've added coconut and chocolate chips to it as well. And so this is quite a variable, but this is just a basic with just the basic ingredients, which is the dates, bananas, coconut oil, a couple of cups of boiling water, and your porridge oats. Enjoy.